start. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special midnight or past midnight episode of Oral Exposure. My name is X, and this is my co-host Wes. How you doing, Wes?
Oh, I'm doing great. You woke me up at 1:30 in the goddamn morning to do this shit. I have my wine. I'm good. I'm set. Let's get going.
Hell yeah, man! You can tell Wes really loves me for shit that I
Yeah.
pull
I
all
put
the
on a
time
tie
like
for you,
this. Yeah.
man.
Exactly, and I love that. By the way, I love that stuff. But let me just tell everybody why we're here. From the title, obviously, you can see that we just got the biggest breaking news I think of the past couple months, maybe even this year. Right? Is that the president of the United States, Donald Trump, and the first lady are so far tested positive for coronavirus, which is huge.
Yeah.
Actually, like for me personally, I have expected this to come ever since March myself, and the
hmm
reason for that is because Trump kept underestimating the virus and he kept saying we shouldn't wear masks. Even now, sometimes he goes against masks. So number one, I want to
And,
ask
and,
Wes,
and
like hearing this news, like how do you feel, man? Like just hearing about this president got sick with COVID.
aside from being
Like,
extremely tired in the current situation,
all right, I'm so
no,
sorry, man.
no, it's okay. No, I really, it seems, it's not quite ironic, but it's definitely like something like you said, it's something we all kind of expected to happen, and it's
Yeah,
surprising that it
almost
happened this
poetic.
late. And it's almost kind of, yeah, right, it's almost kind of poetic that it did happen this late. It's like the last bastion, the last fight, the like right before the last battle with these with all these with these debates ramping up.
Right.
And
How coincidental.
Trump goes and gets fucking Rona.
Right. Would it be? Yeah.
Yeah,
After no one worries about the corona anymore. Everyone stops
yeah,
caring about it. We almost like apparently almost have a vaccine out, and then the president gets it. Like I think part of it is because maybe he doesn't care about it enough anymore.
yeah,
But let me actually give a little background information first, everybody, about how this occurred or like
sure.
what the news is right now. Right. So first of all. Trump was not the first one to be confirmed. The reason they tested Trump was because Hope Hicks, a top Trump aide, tested positive. So
hmm
Hope Hicks, she around 27 years old, started working as one of Trump's top aides, and then aide as in like somebody who helps Trump, not like AIDS. But yeah, so basically she travels with Trump all the time. She's close to Trump, and then on Tuesday, Hope traveled with Trump on Air Force One to the debate. They were within an enclosed space, and they traveled to the debate, and they came back. And then, this morning, actually earlier on the 1st of October, she was tested, and she tested positive. Right afterwards, Trump and the first lady got tested because they were in close proximity. They were in the same contact space as her, and then just a couple of hours ago, they tested positive. So that's the whole story right now. We don't know when Hope got it. All we know is that she confirmed first, and then a couple hours later, first lady and the president got infected. So that's all we know right now. So number one, like was I don't know how do you feel about this news that like
Um,
Hope
so
with Trump on Tuesday?
it's almost beautiful in a way that Trump actually
Really?
contracted
Oh,
this
so
from an employee of his, who
yeah.
he has historically probably not treated very well, if the Celebrity Apprentice is anything to go by. So it's kind of beautiful that that happened that way. That being said, it's not obviously a good thing that he has contracted the virus. I mean, I'm not a hateful person. I don't wish death on anybody, and even not Trump. I know a lot of
Right. Yeah.
people are right now, but
You're
I
too
mean, I
nice, man. You're too nice.
yeah, probably a little bit, but
Mhm.
here we are. It's an interesting thing that's going on right now, because part of me actually does kind of think that what if this is some like elaborate conspiracy or elaborate hoax to like get a sympathy vote, for Trump to get a sympathy vote.
Oh,
But at the
so
same
you think
time,
this was good?
but at the same time, I'm just like, I feel like even he is smart enough not to know that this would actually hurt him a lot more, because people are just going to
Yeah,
double down on the fact that he didn't do a good job handling the virus. So
exactly.
if that is what's happening and that's the plan,
Mhm.
then that's some, first of all, that's some 4D chess shit, and
Yeah.
second of all, that's one hell of a gamble.
That's
If
some
that's
Frank
yeah,
Underwood shit. up in this house, man. Like I've
Yeah,
seen Frank Underwood stuff happening. And here's the
really.
thing, though. Like I wanted to mention this a couple minutes ago, but so just because Hope was tested first doesn't mean Hope gave it to Trump. There's every single
That's true. Yeah,
chance that
yeah,
Trump gave it to Hope because guess what Trump has been doing over the past couple of weeks? Going to these massive rally events where thousands of people are just
yeah.
not wearing masks, seated together, and they're just all like chanting, cheering, standing on the road. So first of all, those guys, they're fucked. Like there's like they're
Yeah.
gonna test more and more like for coronavirus in
But
the past
but
week. Whichever state it's
remember
gonna happen
that
in.
nobody's had any health problems throughout these rallies. I guess Herman Cain doesn't count as someone,
Well, now we know that
but
every
that's
single
none of my
person that
business.
went to this rally. Yeah, but now every single rally, has someone who had a problem, and that person's become Trump now. Like every single Trump rally, yeah, Trump got the coronavirus.
Yeah,
Who knows how many people he infected? Like probably maybe not that many, but still though, it's like really just ironic this happened.
it, wa-
So number one, actually. Yeah. So yeah, sorry to cut you off there, but I actually wanted to ask a little bit and talk about what do you think is going to happen with the debate? Because this is
um,
huge, man.
yeah, this is huge. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to follow the proper guidelines set in place, and
Mhm.
even he isn't dumb enough to not do that. I think that's a good
Right.
idea. I think he's going to do
Like the
that.
quarantines, right?
Yeah, the quarantine, the self quarantine for however long.
Mhm.
I think it's 14 days once you get it, for
Uh,
recovery or something like that.
and
Um,
minimum 14 days,
minimum
yeah.
14 days. Yeah.
But technically you're supposed to, yeah, technically as long as you're capable of spreading the virus to somebody, you're supposed to stay isolated.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's 14 days.
I don't think it's beyond the technology of the debate organizers
Mhm.
to do a remote debate. I think it's
Right.
entirely possible to set something like that up. That all depends on
Mhm.
how sick Trump actually gets, of course. As
Right.
for how
Actually,
the debates
what do
are,
you
I
think?
don't think the debates are going to continue at all in the
Mhm.
same way that they were. I think that'd be very unrealistic. If that does happen, that'll be
Mhm.
very interesting, and we definitely need to talk about that. But I don't think
Right.
that's what's going to happen. But
Mhm. So,
um,
so real quick, you touched on this, but how do you think Trump's going to deal with this virus? He is 74 years old. Most people who died from this virus in the United States, 95% of the people who died from this virus are over the age of 60
yeah,
in this country. Of everybody that died, 95 of them
I
over the age of
mean,
60. Trump's
he is the
14
president of
years
the
above.
United States, but we've had other government officials die from this thing, like Herman Cain, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's beyond reason to like prepare for the possibility of his death due to this. Um,
Mm.
as for Melania, I'm not sure about that. I don't know how old Melania is. I know she's younger
Uh,
significantly,
yeah.
pretty significantly,
Uh,
but um,
50. She
yeah,
looks
so
she
like in her,
looks
she's probably in like her
fine.
50s or something, 40s or 50s or something.
40 or 50. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think she's in her 50s or
yeah.
so. Yeah.
I don't know. I
But
don't
yeah.
care, but
So here's the thing though. So like in the event, good for you, man. I don't care. No
uh,
matter what age Melena is,
yeah,
I still probably tap that. She's hot. I'm just kidding. Disrespectful. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But basically, so in the eventuality that Trump does like catch the worst from this virus, so that means Pence is gonna have to step up to the plate with just a couple like 30 days left to the election. He's gonna step to the plate as the presidential elect. So
yeah,
there's that as a possibility. But second, what I'm thinking, and I'm not sure like how you feel about this, is that Pence, being Trump's vice president, probably had contact with him in the last couple of days. So
yeah.
there's a chance
That
most top officials close to Trump has got this virus, dude.
yeah.
Because Trump talks a lot, and
It,
they're in
it,
the same, they're in proximity,
yeah,
right?
we might within a couple hours here hear that Pence is also test positive for it. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
I don't.
another piece of information from the White House, just to just give you a background, people in the White House they don't wear masks on the daily. Like they
No.
don't wear masks. They keep going like just same room in closed space. They'll wear a mask if they have to go out. People if they come in from the White House and they're not supposed to work there, they don't they wear the mask. But anyone who goes there on a daily basis, they don't wear a mask while they're working there. So
Yeah, that seems very unsafe, and obviously something along those lines has proven how unsafe it is to do that. Because
right,
Trump, in some way, shape, or form, contracted this thing.
right,
So
exactly.
yeah,
And
that's
remember, yeah, sorry, in March, how the virus first started was one person, well, in a state, I forgot which state it was, but in a state, one person visited a religious event, a religious gathering with hundreds of people. One super spread went there, and hundreds of people got contracted with this disease. One super spreader, hundreds of people affected.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
yeah,
we're going to see a lot of the Trump administration, a lot of the people he's come in contact with. Actually, it turns out that they have contracted this thing. It'd be
right.
interesting to see if anybody who was just at the debates is going to contract anything. Um,
Actually,
yeah, I'm not
funny
sure
thing
how
that
how contagious it would be in that setting, but it's possible that maybe
mhm,
either Biden or Chris Wallace or anybody who was at the debates, because it'd be interesting to see if any of them, if we even get that news that they have tested positive. Um,
exactly.
yeah.
So at the debate, right? So Trump arrived with his whole family. We
Hmm.
got Trump Jr., Trump Jr.'s wife. We got Ivanka. We got Eric Trump. I think Eric Trump was there. We have yeah, Melania
Yeah.
and also Biden's fam. But if you look at the picture of Trump's family while they're watching the debate, no masks at all.
Yeah.
There are people around them who are masked, but they're not seated 6 feet apart at all. There's, well, I think, one seat in between them, but no Trump people were wearing masks, and they came there in the same car, in closed space. Trump has it, Melania has it, which means Trump's extended family most likely has this virus, and whoever they come in contact with also has this. And we
Yeah.
got to keep in mind, we don't know when they got the virus. People think Hope Hicks got it as early as Tuesday, because from Tuesday to now, she has traveled in Air Force One in the plane with the president, and now the president and Melania are both positive. So within this 2 day frame, whoever Trump came in contact with, Hope Hicks and Melania came in contact with, they're
Yeah.
all at risk.
All the people that they come in contact with, and all the people that Trump claims that he has meetings with, especially like,
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, they're all at risk. If those meetings happened, they're at risk for sure. Like it's this big butterfly effect. And
Mhm.
I'm
You know how
nervous.
old the
I'm
guy
nervous
is.
to see. Yeah, I'm nervous to see what will happen. I mean, I like I said, I'm not a fan of Trump, but I'm not like I don't want to kill the motherfucker. I don't want to I don't want to see him die or anything like that. I mean,
Right.
it'll be crazy if that happens. It's a little too early to
Yeah.
speculate because we just got the news that he's positive. We don't know his physical state beyond that.
And he
So
looked fine. I mean, some people, like
Yeah,
Trump people
relatively to
suggest,
how Trump
yeah,
normally looks, he looked fine. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, honestly though, like if I'm gonna be honest with you, on like the debate on Tuesday, I didn't think he performed as well as he could have. He didn't seem like he was up to his normal standard. Not saying he was sick, but he definitely did a lot better in like other speaking events. And Biden, I don't think at all would have won against him if he was in his best shape.
Well, I think
So
the
I don't
interrupting
know.
had a lot to do with that. I'm not sure how much of that had to potentially do with feeling ill or anything like that. So we'll see. But
Right. Yeah.
um, yeah,
So people who got infected or contracted this virus, right? There's a lot of symptoms. Like even when people recover, they report not being able to focus. It impacts their like mental state. They have trouble focusing.
really.
Obviously, there's inflamed organs. Yeah, exactly. So Dr. Anthony Fauci actually was the one who corroborated this on a hearing with the Senate. He has said that something that's troubling that we discovered recently was people who are still recovering from the virus, or people who have recovered from the virus, they show inflammation in the heart, and they also have reported, like widely reported, inability to focus, or their
Hmm.
focusing ability has deteriorated since before. So like mentally, you are impacted with this virus, and I think it
Interesting.
just takes so much out of you that it's a thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's entirely
So
possible that he was suffering from those symptoms then, at the during that debate, if that's the case.
yeah,
Because if he had it, he
perhaps.
probably had
Mhm.
it. He probably had it then and just didn't know it yet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
It's hard to say. Like you said, we don't know when they got it, so
Mhm.
it's entirely possible that he was just having a bad night and that was it.
Right.
But you don't
It
know.
could be.
Yeah.
Mhm. But the incubation period for this virus, remember, is at least 14, is around 14 days.
Yeah. Oh boy,
So
I know that.
could have. Yeah. Did you tell everybody about your
Yeah, I did. I'm negative for coronavirus, but I still do have to self isolate until next Sunday, which is super lame. I hate this
right?
shit so bad,
Uh,
so
Hey,
badly.
look, the president is suffering with you, and he has the virus. So
I don't want to
uh,
do harmonious suffering with President Trump. I'd rather not.
Hey,
I sympathize with him, and I sympathize with the fact that he is sick now. But I do not want
yeah,
to put my suffering and his suffering in the same boat. I do not want to be in that ship when it inevitably
yeah,
goes down.
yeah. Because even if he's suffering, if he recovers, he'll still be a billionaire. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's beside the point, though.
I mean, if he
But
wants to
actually,
give me money for no reason, then we'll do that. But yeah,
that's good. I'm
yeah,
still waiting on that 1,200, but it's not going to come to us before the election. Democrats will make sure of that, man. Um, but yeah, yeah. Honestly, if Trump is allowed to give people $1,200 before November 3rd, the Democrats are going to take a hit. That's why they've
oh yeah,
denied. In my opinion, that's why they denied that at every turn. We should have gotten $1,200 like a month
yeah.
ago. That's what they said.
Yeah, if
So
you
they
still
said,
if you still think that either party is actually for the American people, just look at shit like that.
it's not. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. It's just I've been with them for so long. Like I know 100%. They're out for themselves, and if we benefit, it's because they also benefit from
Yeah,
our benefit.
they
So
benefit a
actually, I want
lot
to get
more.
your
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, they get the big bucks, man. But actually, I want to get your opinion on something, Wes. So we've talked about like the government officials, what this might happen to the debate. But I want to ask, like, what do you think? How do you think the American people will react? Like, how are they gonna respond to their president being diagnosed with COVID?
Well, we've seen already. If you've been looking at his Twitter, and some of the people I follow are really hateful towards Trump, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of different people. In fact, there have been people who have been retweeting his post and tweeting at him, "Hey, just put some bleach in your skin." Just put in the fucking cleaning products, and
Yeah.
there are people who are doing it, um like ironically, obviously, people who are like his enemies and not his supporters, and there are people who are doing it unironically. There are QAnon people who are
No.
unironically doing it. From what I can tell, there are a few
No.
people that are like QAnon crazy that are actually like legitimately saying put some cleaning product
I
into your
don't.
veins. I
I can't
take it
believe
no
that,
really
dude.
do take it with a grain of salt right now, but I think that
Yeah.
I've seen that there are some people doing it. Yeah, it's pretty. So I don't. I mean, and they're beyond that, beyond the comedy of that. There are some people who are just saying, good. It's good that he has coronavirus. I'm glad. I hope he dies. And I think that's kind of
Yeah.
morbid. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people
Yeah,
saying that. Like,
yeah.
I
And
think from.
I kind of. I mean, I'm not surprised.
Mm,
Giving our current two-party system, like this is going to happen. If this happened with
yeah.
Obama,
Mm,
you bet your ass that there would be people on the hardcore Republican side saying, "I hope he dies." Like,
yeah. No matter who it is, yeah.
yeah,
Like, there's gonna be
yeah. There's
people
going
that
to be
will
those
speak
assholes
shit.
that just say, "I hope he dies."
Mhm.
But I think for the
Yeah.
most part, I've seen on the positive side, I've seen some people on my Facebook feed who are very far left, who are saying, "Man, I really hope he actually recovers, and I hope he has a speedy
Hmm.
recovery." And I think that's kind of like the where we need to be with. As much as you may hate Trump,
Hmm.
as much as you may disagree with him, and boy howdy, do I do that? Do
Hmm.
I not like Trump and do I disagree with him? But I do
Hey,
not
man.
wish death on the person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just because someone has a different opinion, he's a humongous piece of
He's
shit.
it's more than a different opinion. I don't agree with all the everything he's done.
Mhm.
It's an actions thing for sure, but I
Yeah.
even with that in mind, I don't think I can truly revel in the death of a human being. I don't think I have that in
Right.
me, and
You're,
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know
you're
if you
very
do.
much. Yeah.
I don't know. What's your opinion on that? What do
Oh,
you think?
thanks.
What do you
Oh, thanks. You
think?
haven't asked, man. You should be
Yeah,
like, yeah, of course you think the same, Max. Come on, of course you think the same. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, same thing, pretty much.
I've
Like, here's the thing. I
no, I'm
get
not gonna go
like
there. Never mind.
yeah. Oh, now I'm like, now I have to know what's
No, it's well.
what. Where were you gonna go? Come on,
I
come
was
on.
just
Let's go
gonna.
there.
I
Let's
was
go
gonna
there.
go like uber, like stereotype racist, and just be like, "I heard you
Uh-huh.
Chinese are really violent. Heard you Chinese are the real violent type, the vengeful kind."
Damn, bro. Yeah, the art of revenge. Actually,
I've
no.
had a hell
Trump's
of a
like the
day,
art of
man.
revenge.
Like this happened. I had to watch Cars
Mm,
2 today. That
mhm.
was a rough time. I've been going through
Why?
deviating really quick. I've been going and
Yeah.
rewatching all the Pixar movies in release order, just because I haven't seen some of them and I want to like do like a definitive ranking. And I had to watch Cars 2 and Brave today, and I've never seen Cars 2, and I'm not a
Uh-huh.
huge fan of Brave. I knew Cars 2 was going to be bad because of what I heard, but I
Right.
could not have anticipated that level of like horrendous shit.
Just
And
shittery.
if I have to do a fucking 40-minute rant on that later, I will, but we'll get back to the
Hmm.
topic at hand. What do you think
That'll be
about what the
another
American...
show.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
shit, dude. There, I could not
Yeah.
believe. But anyway, what do
Uh-huh.
you think about the people's reaction, the American people's reaction to Trump getting the virus? What do you
Cars
think?
2. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
That Cars
I'm sure
2
Cars 2
is
was bad.
worse than the coronavirus. Holy shit.
Whoa, Cars 2 caused 200,000 Americans to die. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it did.
Well, here's the thing. And it's a lot of people like wish the worst on Trump, and part of that is because Trump during the pandemic was not the most sympathetic person.
No.
Number one, while so many Americans died, Trump, I don't think ever once acted like he was very sad so many Americans died. Whenever he was called out on the virus, whenever he was called out on the huge number of people who perished, his first response is to defend himself.
Yeah.
And that
His
is
first
never
response was
a
always
good call.
just
Yeah.
hey,
It's not my
but hey,
fault.
it could have been a lot worse. We've acted very quickly. And look how great we are doing. It's always been that. I agree with
Right.
that. Yeah.
It's like 2 million people would have died from this if I messed up.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it seem like it could have been much worse, but there's no way you could make 200,000 Americans being dead a good thing. That's
Yeah.
more than how many Americans we lost in the Civil fucking War. Like,
Yeah.
it's just within half a year. Civil War took a while, man.
4 years.
Within
Yeah.
this little
Four and a
period of
half,
time.
4 years. Yeah.
Yeah, this happened. And here's the thing, like you can't blame all that on Trump. Like no matter who's the president, if Hillary was on here, if Obama was on here, if like
No.
Lincoln was on here, if
It,
George Washington was on here, we would have had this many Americans die. I
it,
think.
no,
Honestly.
I think you're probably correct. I don't think it would have been at the disparaging number that people think it is. I don't think there would have been like
Right.
2,000 versus 200,000 if it was Hillary ended up getting elected or something. I don't think
Yeah.
that's very accurate. Now, while I will agree that it could have been a lot worse and it could have been a lot better the way it was handled,
Right.
going out and your first thing and only thing you really say about it is that, hey, look how great we actually are doing,
Right.
and not once like projecting sympathy or empathy or even like a twinge of sadness for the people that we have lost is the
Exactly.
wrong way to go. And so I think
Right.
from that perspective, yes, I do kind of understand where that hateful "I hope he dies" attitude is coming from. I understand it.
Right.
I
And
don't
I'm
agree
also
with it.
good with
I don't agree with it at all. Let me be very clear on that. I don't agree with that at
We
all.
don't condone.
No, we do
Yeah,
not.
we
Yeah,
understand.
we're
Right.
gonna do a Dr. Manhattan without condemning or condoning. We
Okay.
understand.
Do it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't expect that movie to go that direction. Rorschach was like kind of like I was like, yes, guy's so badass,
Dude,
and then he dies. I was like,
that
dude, what the hell?
I have that book up. You can't see it, but I have that book up there. If
God,
you
I
ever
read
get a
it.
chance to read Watchmen, holy shit, Watchmen, dude.
Good. It's
It's
so
so
good. It's
amazing.
like
The movie does
comfort.
about as good as it can.
Right.
In terms of script,
Can't
it's
blame
about as good as it possibly can be. But
Right.
that graphic, that's the only real graphic I've read. That graphic novel, and I've read Kick-Ass. Those are the only two I've really read. But Watchmen is so fucking good. Like,
Right. Actually,
I can't.
if you're into stuff like Watchmen, I recommend The Boys. Really,
Yeah,
really like, fantastic read. Yeah.
I might give that a shot. I got a
Yeah,
few
it's,
like regular books to read though. Anyway,
entertaining.
we can move on here.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, what do you think, Ben? Like, do you think like the U.S. is going to be shut down again or no? Like, this is
Oh, you think like some
bring about another
shutdowns
fear,
that shutdowns will happen again? I don't know. I don't know if that will be the reaction we get. I mean, I think if we are forced to shut down again at this point, there's going to be a lot more riots, a lot more of those fucking asshole, stupid people who are just like keep everything open. And I
Right.
understand for economic reasons, this is a really shitty situation we find ourselves in because we have no net, and that's kind of like the shitty position that we find ourselves in as Americans. No matter what, it's a bad call, and that's kind of like I sympathize with anybody who is making that decision because no matter what, you're fucking up. You're either going to continue and have the economy slowly rise up, and then you're going to have more people contract the virus and more people die,
Mm.
or
Bad things will happen either way. Yeah.
you're going to have
Mm.
people lose their businesses, lose their savings, lose their investments, and be stuck at
Mm.
home more, which is a bad idea for mental health.
Yeah.
And But you're going to have a lot more people safe, generally
Mm.
speaking, from specifically the virus. I think that
Yeah.
is probably the best way to go.
Mm.
As for what will happen, I don't know if I can accurately predict anything anymore.
Mm.
Like I said, this is a hell of a day for me. This happened.
Mm.
I had to watch Cars 2. I've lost all hope. I don't.
In the order of impact, yeah, on
Yeah.
your day, Cars is up here
Well, Cars
way.
2 I watched first, so that was like the first bit of downer for my day. And then I drank a lot of
Mhm.
wine. And
Oh, that bad, huh?
yeah, and then well, I drank a lot of wine during Cars 2. That's inaccurate. I don't want to report
And it
false
was still
facts here.
bad.
Yeah.
It was still, yeah. How dare you? Don't be like
Yeah,
Trump, man.
and then I found out Trump had the virus, and I was just like, okay, that's the new thing. That's what's happening now. So
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is where we're at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but well, had to take off the tie and everything.
yeah, it was
I'm
really
sick of
making
this
me
shit,
sweaty.
man.
It's really hot in here.
Yeah, I get you, man. I get you, and you're pretty hot in there too, man. Just you know, just know that. Just know that.
Yeah,
Take it off. Take it off.
yeah,
I was kidding. Yeah, but I personally, I don't believe the American economy is going to shut down again. Because number one, like Trump is just another person. If Trump got it, the sickness, and then 100,000 people like all of a sudden was like, hey, I'm positive too. Then yeah, we might do like a slight shutdown. But here's the thing though, like Europe, right? Europe has been ahead of the United States time wise in this pandemic. As in Europe, like Italy, France blew up 2 weeks to a month later, US blew up. Like Europe, France, their virus number goes down 2 weeks to a month later. US does the same thing, and now like France, Italy, and Spain, they're shut down again. Like they're doing like a large scale shutdowns. So in 2 weeks or in a month, is United States going to see the same kind of curve? And remember, Europe got their virus under control to a very low level. Like US never got their virus numbers under control and never came below accepted level. Europe got there, but they still started rising up
yeah,
sharp. So yeah, US went like this and then like fall down a little bit and then went back up and fall down a little bit and now it's starting to go up again.
yeah.
So it's on the table. It's on the table,
Yeah,
honestly.
I really have no idea. How can you possibly predict what's going to happen next in 2020?
Right.
What can we possibly do? What's going to happen
Hmm.
in 4 hours from now? It's technically the next day. It's been October
Hmm.
2nd for about 2 hours and 20 minutes now, at least
Sure.
on this end.
Exactly.
I don't know. Like what the fuck? Like what's going to
Mhm.
happen next? How could you possibly predict?
It's just been a
So yeah,
wild ride, man. But like, I
sure
think the
has.
theme of
Jesus Christ.
2020, right? Yeah, but the theme
Hold
of
on to your
2020, I feel like,
fucking hat. That's the theme of 2020.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And also, I was about to say, like, shit keeps hitting the fan. It keeps getting worse. We started the year off with Trump killing Soleimani, like assassinating a top-ranked, very respected person in Iran. Not saying he's a good person, right? But it was some heavy shit. This stuff
Yeah.
doesn't happen. You don't just go assassinate another, like someone from another country. Like, yeah, he will cause the death of a lot of Americans. He's not a good guy, but there's a certain way to conduct foreign policy other than straight up
Yeah.
assassination, especially to Iran, bro. Like you don't just mess with Iran. And I know nothing happened, but that's how we started the year. And then Kobe passed, man. Kobe. Like, dude, like what's happening? And then the virus comes, and then a lot more people die. And then like whilst all
Don't
this is
forget the
happening,
fires in
like more
Australia.
people pass away. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the fires in California.
Mhm.
And then we lose Black Panther, dude.
That
Like,
that that one hurt the most. I'm gonna be real.
yeah, it impacted me
Oh,
a
and Ian
lot, man.
Holm.
Like,
We lost Ian Holm too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just what a year, man. And it like it seems to get better at some points, but then something more shitty
Yeah.
happens.
It's still only the
And that's the
beginning
thing
of
with 2020.
October.
Yeah. You remember like in the end of 2019, we're like, oh, 2020 is like such a fun year. It's 20 and then another 20. It's probably gonna be a good year. A couple of like stupid ass optimists, me included, right? Probably you included as well. You're a pretty optimistic guy, I think. We're like, it's gonna be our year, man, 2020.
I
Fuck it.
was
I
gonna
haven't been outside
I
for
was
so
gonna
long.
I was gonna go to Japan earlier this year with my mom and
Oh
dad
shit.
because my sister was going to school there, and we were about
Yeah,
to go, and then the virus got real bad, and so we just brought my
man.
sister home, and we
You see
decided
that?
to not go, and it's a good thing we didn't. But I'm still a little salty that that we didn't go to Japan. Like, cause that if I mean we wouldn't have had, even if we decided to go, everything would have been shut down at that point anyway. So it would have been a huge waste of money at that point. Plus, we probably
Right.
would have gotten coronavirus and then possibly not been able to leave Japan. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I'm glad your
I'm
family's
just
safe,
mad that
man.
the
But
coronavirus canceled my cool Japan trip because I've never been and
mm,
I really wanted to go. But
yeah,
I, yeah,
messed
no,
everyone's
and
plans up, man.
no, it did. But I mean, I'm sad. I'm more sad about how many people have died about this. Died from this, obviously.
You're a good person, man. You're a good person. I would have
But
been like
I
so
don't
bummed.
I gotta be real, man.
Mhm.
This whole situation, this whole everything that's been going on with 2020, it's
Mhm.
I don't care anymore. I've stopped, like, my empathy has gone away and become a much more like bitter and savage person.
Right.
Especially on social media. I've just been like, whenever people say stupid shit, I just like immediately try to call them out on it.
No
like
more patience,
like
man.
I've just
I
been
get that
like
too.
going on and I'm becoming a troll is what I'm doing because I
Mm.
don't know any other solution at this point.
I don't think you're a troll, my friend.
Yeah,
I think you're just
I'm not at that level yet. I haven't achieved that, but it's
you haven't earned that. Going through that
if
shit
this
though.
keeps going, I'm going to become like a full like um Gerald Broflovsky troll from
Hmm.
South Park.
Oh man.
I even listen to
You know,
Boston
I
on a regular basis.
how dare you? Going off the deep end, bro. You're like Palpatine, but well, not even Palpatine. You're like Anakin Skywalker before before the episode 3, man. Like during episode 3 towards the end. Oh, my brother, I hate you. Yeah, I forgot to mention something like just now about 2020, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this 'cause it's so huge. But like, yeah, the protests, man, George Floyd, and all these people, just like, and just
Yeah.
so many people impacted. Yeah,
You
like
you
it's
can't
about the
list you
virus.
can't list everything that happened in 2020 in a reasonable amount of time. That's how shitty
Right?
2020 is.
Like I forgot something as terrible as all the protests happening, all the people getting killed. Like, and that's because so many other things happened. Like that's
Yeah.
not even the most horrible thing that happened this year. And usually that would make it to the top of the list. So
Yeah.
it's terrible, man. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we're owed
I had a
a
friend.
good year.
No, I had a friend die
Mm.
earlier this year.
Oh
Which
shit.
was
Yeah.
really depressing, and it was unrelated
Yeah.
to COVID, but it's still, it
Mhm.
was just like, Jesus Christ, what next?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, speaking of that, yeah, like my father also passed away this year, man. Like also not COVID related, but
yeah,
I forgot to mention that as one of the most terrible things. And like
yeah,
I haven't
no,
really heard about that, man. Like
and
that's
that's sucks that you have to. Yeah, I know.
right. It's
Like,
the whole
that's a
new
horrible
experience.
loss that you're. Yeah,
Yeah. And like I barely had any time to process that because like all this other stuff is happening. Like by the way, I work in news media, so like like every day I'm like following news stories and like
yeah,
politics and stuff. And yeah, like honestly, like it's just I'm numb with it. Like I completely understand what you mean when you say like I don't even care anymore. Like how can you like
yeah.
past a certain point if you still care? Like how are you going on as a person?
You
How are you
can't function
contributing?
as a human being and care about everything that's happening.
Exactly.
Not fully.
Like
You don't have time, and you don't have the mental or emotional capacity for it. You have to
you can't
shut
be
things
invested
out.
anymore.
Yeah, you have to shut things out to go on as a sane person. And
It's
even
the
then,
same.
it's really difficult. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And it sucks that we have to like collectively go through this. Like, and I'm hoping against hope that we come out of this being more sympathetic. But I'm even losing hope that's ever gonna happen. I thought the virus is gonna unite people, man. I thought people are gonna unite against an enemy that's not human.
yeah.
But
I've seen the meme go around saying we can no longer use the phrase avoid it like the plague anymore because obviously we don't do that.
yeah,
Um,
nope.
yeah, obviously we're really bad at avoiding the plague.
Avoided like wearing masks, I guess. Might be even a little bit more
Yeah.
appropriate
We
than
yeah,
right now.
it shouldn't have been a surprise that we have anti-vaxxers. We've known anti-vaxxers are a thing for years. We have known
Yeah.
that flat earthers are a thing for years. We've known that Scientologists are a thing for years. and yet
Hmm.
we are surprised that people refuse to wear masks during a global pandemic.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we were surprised, but here we are in 2020 in October being surprised that people are not wearing masks and being surprised that we have a president that condones not wearing masks. So here we are.
I think it's beautiful that you still are, man. I think like any sane person would have like long since lost that element of being surprised. Like that capability is just something the worst happens. Like
Yeah.
yeah, figures.
Yeah.
Like aliens invade, like aliens come to Earth and they're total assholes. Like yeah, that's
If
that's
aliens,
fine.
honestly, if aliens did invade
Right.
and like come and talk to us right now, that would be something that actually surprised me because I really think that,
Mhm.
I mean, that's always going to surprise me. I
Yeah,
can't imagine that
maybe
not ever
maybe that was
surprising me.
gonna
Yeah.
be the fun.
No,
Yeah,
no, I get your point though.
yeah. It's just the level of her. Speaking of aliens, yeah, like make sure to check out our last our episode before last, episode 3, where we talked about aliens. Like,
If you really want to see if you want to see me be a real asshole to X, then yeah, watch that episode.
no, not at all. Man. You're not an asshole. We just had like some simple like friction, and like I'm
Yeah,
actually glad, man. It gave me some insights. But
yeah,
yeah, make sure
but
to check out that episode.
yeah,
Super
no, I know
fun.
what you mean though. Like if next month we find out that North Korea has just blown itself up, I don't think anybody's gonna be like surprised for very long. Everybody's gonna move on very quickly, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of shitty, but
Ah,
that's the world we live in right now.
yep. But yeah, that about I think like covers like all the shittiness that happened today, and I think tomorrow we're gonna have a lot more content. I think we'll find out if Joe
Yeah,
Biden and if like anyone else. I'm pretty sure the Trumps, like I'm sure all of them got it. I'm sure the Ivanka, Trump Jr., Trump, like Eric Trump. I'm sure they all have it. Like there's no way they don't.
yeah,
But yeah, like we'll have to see the fallout from this. Like this is just episode 1 in like a couple of episodes where we just see what happened, man. We see the true decline of like the most powerful in America, like how it feels when they suffer as a normal person does. Because
yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, you get sick the same way as the rest of us, man.
yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
on that note, I'm just gonna say one thing before we sign off here. We
Sure.
are gonna be doing another stream tonight. But
Tonight, yeah, Friday
no, it
night.
is Friday night tonight, Friday night. But it's gonna be more
Mhm.
casual. It's just gonna be X. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me.
COVID,
Yeah.
quarantine him.
Anyway, I
Bad timing, mate.
yeah. We're just gonna be a little bit more casual. We're gonna I'm
Mhm.
gonna be painting some of these minis behind me for that,
Mhm.
and our friend Aiden is gonna be a part of the stream too. We're just gonna be hanging out and
You guys
talking.
get to meet
Be a
Aiden.
much more
Yeah.
casual experience. But yeah, you'll be able to meet Aiden if people are interested. On that note, X, do you want to say anything before we kind of go away here?
Well, just real quick, I wanna mention, yeah, just like Aiden's our friend growing up. So like growing up, like for me, I had two like really great friends, and I think the trio of us were just like super tight group. Like we
Hmm.
read about in books. That was us, and it was me, Wes, and third person was Aiden. And yeah, he's a really awesome guy. I think you guys would like him. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and we'll gel together. We'll probably most likely talk about the virus thing because how can you not, right? But yeah, it'll be a lot more lighthearted if you like watching people hang out. If you're just bored on Friday night.
Yeah.
Hope you're not. But yeah, if you are, give us a
If you're
watch.
in
You'll
quarantine
enjoy it.
and you
But
want to feel the sound of Friends, just turn us on.
right, yeah. Hey, maybe even Trump will come out now. He's in quarantine. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, that's just our take on like the shitty year, and more to come. But we're gonna end it tonight because it's very late. And thank you again, Wes, for allowing
Yeah.
me to wake you up at this ungodly hour and just doing a show. So thank you so much, and thank you to the one person, actually two now, who are watching the show.
Yeah.
Like, thank you guys so much for watching this.
Fuck you for making me do this, X. I quit.
No, Wes, that is
No.
not allowed. That is not allowed. You quit
I'm
when I
being forced to work against my will.
And here's the best part, like there is no pay in this. Like he's just doing this for free, man. Like I'm doing
No,
this for free.
it's
There's
all
no pay.
just emotional blackmail.
Yeah, and like like that little jive right there that gave me about like quitting. I'm gonna let him have it after this show, man. I'm gonna like
Yeah.
black and blue. You see a black eye next time, yeah.
You
It's
see
probably
that
because, man, how
dragon
dare you
behind me?
speak-
You see that dragon figure
Yeah.
behind me? Going straight
yeah.
up through my nostril.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Nostril,
Yeah.
nostril. You're being a little unimaginative, bro. There's a couple of places that's gonna go up.
No, I thought I was being imaginative with the nostril. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're good. I'm gonna move on and say, hey, good night, everybody, or good morning. I'm gonna go to sleep now. And X, you better fucking go to sleep too. Drive safe on the way
I still
home.
drive home.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But
Cool. Thanks everybody. Thanks Wes.
night,
All right.
everybody.
We'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.